The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, can be heard every Sunday at 9 p.m. right here on The Answer San Diego. Life is full of circles, cycles, phases, and stages. It's your choice to ignore or embrace them. Motivational speaker, author, military veteran, and founder of the J.C. Cooley Foundation, James Cooley, and his guest will inspire and equip you to strive for your own greatness and overcome adversities. Listen to The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, every Sunday at 9 p.m. right here on The Answer San Diego.
The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, can be heard every Sunday at 6 p.m. right here on 660 AM The Answer in Dallas-Fort Worth. Life is full of circles, cycles, phases, and stages. It's your choice to ignore them or embrace them. Motivational speaker, author, military veteran, and founder of the J.C. Cooley Foundation, James Cooley, and his guests will inspire and equip you to strive for your own greatness and overcome adversities. Listen to The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, every Sunday at 6 p.m. right here on 660 AM The Answer in Dallas-Fort Worth.
Yeah. Doctor James J.C. Cooley. The James Cooley Show. It's your life. Yeah.
Hello, welcome to the James Cooley Show, It's Your Life. I'm your host, Dr. James J.C. Cooley. But you know how we do on Tuesday. It's 360-degree health. So you got the main host is Dr. Michael Mantell. And I can tell you right now that he has knocked it out the park again. He always does that. So how you doing, Doc? How you doing today?
Doing so great. Thank you so much, James. I was talking to Michelle before. The weather is so hot in Texas and San Diego, and where our guest is, we're sweating bullets, but we're going to get through it because we every week we explore the science, the stories, the strategies to help people live longer lives.
Hey, so Todd, why don't we lock in all of the platforms at the same time and let's get this party started. Todd.
Todd's here.
Check it out. It's your life with Dr. James Cooley. That's right.
Hello, welcome to the James Cooley Show. It's Your Life. I'm your host, Dr. James J.C. Cooley, and we got Dr. Michael Mantell as the host as well. And you already know the link is what you think. The link is what you think. So how are you doing today, Doc?
Doing great. Just trying to deal with the heat here in San Diego. It's all over the place in Texas and where our guest is. But then we're going to go through the science, the stories, and strategies to help people live longer, healthier, and more meaningful lives. So I'm looking forward to this show.
Absolutely. How you doing? Michelle? How you doing today?
I'm doing great. Looking forward to the show as well. And our guest is is internationally situated right now. So I think it's a little late for her, but she has graciously agreed to appear on the show. We're excited about that.
Wow. So I'm excited to get the show started. Can you please introduce the title of the show, the purpose of the show, and introduce this absolutely fantastic guest?
Oh, most definitely. It is 360 Health Day, and the title of today's show is From Peer Support to AI, the New Frontiers of Healing Conversations in Healthcare. And we're having a conversation with Marion Neubronner. She's a Harvard-trained developmental psychologist, leadership coach, and mental health advocate. She's going to discuss the role of trained peer supporters in relieving pressure on mental health professionals, why reflective writing is powerful in high-stress professions, how AI captures conversation patterns, offers resource prompts, and improves peer support skills, and also a mental health ecosystem that's data-informed, compassion-led, and globally scalable. So again, Marion Neubronner, wow. During her time at Singapore's Ministry of Health Transformation Office, Marion was part of the team to identify innovations aimed at addressing mental health. Her passion for compassionate technology led her to Happy AI, where she worked as an advisor with the team work alongside the late Dr. James R. Doty from Stanford to create a virtual peer supporter that offers empathy and non-judgmental care to its users. She has pioneered new ways to combine peer support, journaling, and AI to make mental health care more personal, preventative, and scalable. She's also a practicing counselor at Safe Space and a crisis responder. Her vision is clear. Healing conversations should be accessible to everyone, and she's here to show us how to make that happen. Please welcome to the show, Marion Neubronner. Yay!
Yay.
How you doing? How you doing today, Doc? How you doing?
I'm doing well. It's very early in the morning here. It's like 5 in the morning. Not very late. Yeah, but very early. Then after this, I go and teach in a high school. So
We're just so thankful that you're taking the time to come on the show, especially at 5 o'clock in the morning, about this great topic that we're going to talk about today, because the world is changing with AI, especially healthcare is kind of integrating AI into that. And I think it's going to help save a lot of lives. So I always got the first question. Can you tell our viewers and listeners a little bit more about you? When you grew up, what made you click? Why you're so passionate about what you do?
right. First, of course, thank you for the whole entire team and the warm and efficient managing of everything. When I was growing up, I mean, that's the story, right? Obviously, the origin story. When I was growing up, my dad suffered from alcoholism and had a very bad temper. And I used my diary to write about stuff because obviously there was no safe space. My mom taught me literally to hide. My mom basically told me to be very quiet and get out of my father's way whenever we saw him. So that was clear. That was a very good coping mechanism, but it did not help emotionally, especially as a teenager growing up. So I kept a lot inside and I bottled it up in a diary. And then I went to school and everything was great because school and I matched and I avoided my dad by going to school. So academically, I was very good, right? However, later on, obviously, I realized that it was not just me. A lot of people were bottling things inside, and maybe because I knew how that felt like, I could spot them as well. So I tended towards a career in teaching and then counseling. In terms of counseling, it was very clean. In my entire history as a teacher, no one initially taught me that I had to talk to my students in a certain way to help them emotionally before they could learn anything. No one. So when I went to the school and my students never came to me crying or upset about grades, never. Like they came to me crying about something else, like family troubles, boyfriend, girlfriend troubles, other troubles, right? And so I sent myself to a diploma in counseling, which led to a master's in Harvard in developmental psychology with a focus on risks and prevention. So risks and prevention means I help people whom we see are likely to fall to risk circumstances because their socioeconomic status and vicious cycle of history is there from their time of birth, or they've fallen into hard times and they lapsed. So I support people who are vulnerable so that they have the resources not to be so vulnerable and so they can pick themselves up. So that's the simplified version of what I do because I grew up like that. And now what do? I research a lot on how AI can make mental health therapeutic, not therapy, support scalable to most people in a safe and good manner.
Your background is so impressive, and your depth of knowledge is so awe-inspiring. It's just a joy to have you with us today, and I know that our audience is going to learn so much from you. I'm curious. I know that you, in your work, you weave in science and soul and innovation with AI and so forth, but it goes beyond that. I'm wondering, why does this matter in healthcare today? And particularly, what do you see as the most urgent gap that we need to fill in today's mental health crisis?
So many big questions. Let's just unpack some of the assumptions we have to make first. Healthcare has my greatest respect. My mom was very ill for 3 months in the healthcare system in Singapore. The people here were excellent. right? And she was in a 50% ward where she could die in any moment. And I would get beeped every time she's bleeding out from this place we couldn't find. So the first answer is people who are trained to do certain types of work come with certain amount of stress. One of the things I teach people or tell people is they always ask me, why do you do what you do? No, you could do a much cushier, comfortable, whatever job. And I'm a psychologist, right? So I've stopped fights on trains. I've responded to crisis, stabbings in churches and stuff like that. So because I'm trained, when there is a crisis, just like a firefighter, I run towards the crisis when you are supposed to run away. Everybody who's not trained or not able to cope should run away. Obviously, there's some of us that rise up to the moment. But if you cannot, you run away and keep yourself safe and keep the ones near you safe. But trained personnel, healthcare professionals are precious. Okay, and sorry to say, people don't remind themselves that. They take them as secondary citizens, someone to take care of their needs, right? So a lot of stress comes from two things: the amount of work they have and the type of emotional strain the work brings, because no one can touch another person without carrying home some of that other person's feelings. That is basic biology, right? Everyone can go back and look up mirror neurons. Mirror neurons means Dr. Michael and I can look at each other and catch emotions immediately, right? And because of the way we talk, the way we look at each other, right? That's why all these conflict negotiations, we need a very calm hand to manage them. So healthcare, one, very precious. Number two, why now, why, how, and all that? Well, it used to be when you went back home from work, there would be someone home that could talk to you. You would have dinner together and decompress and go to sleep. Most people don't have the same timing of work, right? You definitely don't have dinner together. Decompressing is watching Netflix or something else, right? And that's not always a good idea. In fact, it's a bad idea because your brain gets reactivated. You're avoiding your emotions from the day. And then what happens? You cannot sleep. So why would need AI is probably AI allows you to dump a bit more to a place where it seems you don't need to dump on another person, or you need to park it somewhere else. Yeah.
Wow. That was a lot to take in, but you're absolutely right when
he asked the tough questions.
Of course.
when you said that you cannot actually talk to somebody, be with somebody without taking a piece of them back with you, I thought that was so intriguing. We're going to take a station break right now, but we're going to come back, and I tell you what, whichever platform that you're watching this on, if you want to be part of this conversation, just go to the comments, ask any question that you might have. I promise you we'll get you an answer. It's your life, and we'll see you shortly after the break.
Welcome to Viridian Christian University, where faith and learning come together to transform lives. At VCU, we believe that education is more than just academics. It's about fostering a community of growth, integrity, and purpose. Whether you're pursuing a bachelor's, master's, or doctorate, VCU offers flexible, affordable, and 100% online degree programs that cater to your busy life. Our innovative platform provides a personalized learning experience, empowering you to thrive in today's ever-evolving world. Join a global community of learners guided by an experienced faculty who are committed to your success. With VCU, you're not just earning a degree, you're preparing for a future that integrates faith, leadership, and service. Viridian Christian University, educating with purpose, transforming lives. Learn more at ViridianChristianUniversity.com. ViridianChristianUniversity.com.
A Black Man's Point of View is the newest Amazon.com #1 release and bestseller book from author Dr. James J.C. Cooley, featuring the perspective from 11 other contributing authors. In A Black Man's Point of View, Dr. James Cooley unpacks his thoughts and personal experiences about the challenges, stereotypes, and feelings of self-worth that many black men face today due to a 400-year ancestry rooted in slavery and colonization. Yet, how so many black men move forward despite this history. Most importantly, A Black Man's Point of View conveys that all men, regardless of race, creed, or color, are capable of love, respect, and dignity. Sandy, described as a map to a greater life from the heart of a man who's experienced life's misfortune and harsh conditions. James shows us how beliefs, convictions, and a healthy mentality can help propel a life worth living. A must-read for all. Order your copy of A Black Man's Point of View by author Dr. James J.C. Cooley today from Amazon.com or wherever books are sold.
Foundation.org. Noah Dingley here, producer of The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life. And the new audio version of James' book, Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet, is a must-have. James shares his true life story of struggle and success in America. It's both a cautionary tale and a roadmap to achieving the American dream. Get the new audio version of Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet by James Cooley on Amazon.com or wherever audiobooks are sold.
Generation of leaders and heroes, get your copy of Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet, available on Amazon and everywhere books are sold.
Welcome to Viridian Christian.
Now hear this. It's your life.
Yeah.
Hello, welcome back to It's Your Life. And I tell you what, Dr. Michael Mantell, I am thoroughly enjoying this guest right here that we have on, and look at her, she's jamming too. I mean, so I tell you what, whichever platform that you're watching us on, whether E36 Television, Transfer TV, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Rumble, or 84 other platforms, you want to be part of the conversation. All you have to do is just go to the platform, to the comments, ask any question that you might have. I promise you we'll get you an answer. So I'm going to turn it right back over to you, Dr. Mike.
Sounds great. In your work, Marian, you talk about peer support, journaling, AI. We're going to get into all those things. I want to talk a little bit about peer support. I think it's a term that people throw out and they mean it in the most general terms. Let's dig in a little bit more. For those who are unfamiliar with peer support, how does it differ from, in your work, from just someone who's just a good listener, a friend?
Right. Well, step one is we went back to the emptiness at home or the lack of two people sitting together and just listening. So even in places where there are not enough trained personnel, we have like seats and grandmothers who sit and become a community resource where people come and sit and talk to them on issues like health or life. And you can Google this. It's like grandmothers and sitting, the bench, right? The listening bench. And the listening itself is actually the magic, the balm, like you said, of a good friend. Listening already helps a lot because that allows the person to unpack whatever they're having in their head that keeps repeating in a loop or rumination, right? So most of the time, I would like to give you some visuals, if you don't mind. There are 50,000 thoughts and more in a day for every one of us. You and I know that. And this basically is that we think a lot, right? And a lot of it's unconscious. So it's like it goes so fast past me, you can't tell. So once in a while, because you're triggered by something, currently with the news, it triggers all the time. You focus on one particular dominant thought, right? So for now, I'm not hungry, but when I get hungry, I'm focusing on hunger, or I'm angry, right? And this people keep throughout the day sometimes because, you're upset about something. I spent the other day upset about something for a whole day, and I tried to distract myself with something else. When you do that, it's very hard for you to see things clearly. And a friend who can remind you that this is not reality is very helpful. That's where the difference comes. You can have a friend who's a cheerleader and they just cheer you on and agree with your anger and hatred and upset and pain and suffering. Very good friend to empathize to one level, but they will not wake you up from the crazy. They leave you there in your brain crazy and you go home still crazy. Okay, this goes to not enough sleep because when you are thinking so much and you're trying to get to sleep, you can't. So normally people do this, right? They say, oh, I'm really angry, my boss, he or she is such a, oh no, you're Christian, you need to be better, you need to forgive. No, I'm really angry, my boss. Oh no, you need to sleep now, so you need to calm down. You are now basically fighting yourself in your own head. So you can't sleep. You hear people that either reflect back your hatred or you have a peer supporter. And that means this person is trained to spot that you have gone into a loop that's unhealthy for yourself. Your behavior and not sleeping is not healthy, and reminds you that. So it's like a little warning, but a warning that's very comforting because it comes from someone you trust. Yeah.
So give me an example of what a trained peer support person might say to someone who's doing all this. I just want to wave my hand. I just want to wave my what is it?
All the children love this. They get it, they all then get it all over the world because this is everybody, right?
Right.
Well, first things first, if you go to a peer supporter, it means you're slightly off track. That's the real issue, right? Most people do not go to a peer supporter. So you hope that your friend is good at peer supporting. But who knows, right? Because they may be equally as like this, and you both come together and do this, right? You know how I knew that I was good for this work, or I this coach counselor work that I did not know. Okay, I didn't learn this word. Every time I go out with a friend, at the end of the night, they started paying for my meals. And they always said the same thing. I feel so much better after talking to you. And then one time, one friend came up to me and said, tell me the truth, because you're one of the only few people that tells me the truth. And I realized this truth telling in a safe environment, in a manner that's either very neutral or like what you're doing in this show, very upbeat and real and courageous, makes people feel good. And they pay me money for that.
Uh-huh.
They need it. They know they need it. So step one, the person needs to come forward. Step two, the peer supporter, to be fair, research has shown the peer supporter benefits from learning how to peer support. They learn how to spot, which is very important, know the level of challenge, 2, know the resources, 3. This is enough. Spot what level of danger and the right resources or the right person to give them towards. These 3 things helps a lot, right? So if you listen to me and I kept telling you something terrible and you know, oh, she's gone too long, like it's 3 months and she's not over her grief over something, I suggest she sees a professional. You are a peer supporter now.
Sounds great. Very helpful. Very helpful. I hope that people hearing this and listening, watching, take away and ask themselves, am I a healthy peer support person to a friend? JC, jump in.
Yeah, I'm just sitting back listening, and this is absolutely fantastic. But you also mentioned, about writing, reflected writing. Yeah, can you tell our viewers and listeners, how does reflected writing help individuals in high pressure roles like healthcare?
Yeah. So step 1, you cannot fight yourself in your own brain, right? I just made it so clear to you. This is what people are doing all the time, right? You're in the car, bus, wherever, you see something happen, blah, 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 blah. Then you want to act out, right? So you stop yourself. And then instead you bring it here and you bring it home for a few hours, So when you dump it, literally dump it, right? Write it all out. Unapologetically, no holes, no bars. That actually lets you free up and see something on a page. It lets you see your messiness on a page. It's not in your head. This causes stress. This causes biological changes in your body. You don't want to eat, you don't want to sleep. This dumped, step 1. After you dump, if you want to go further with the dumping, you look for patterns of what triggered you. So in psychological terms, a trigger is something that causes you to go from an average day to a certain type of day, right? And you need to figure out where that comes from. And a lot of us carry bias, all forms of bias. And most of these bias are not ours. We did not wake up and create a bias. It's from our society, right? Just so you know, my country is I'm from Singapore. I'm one of the fastest walkers in the world. New Yorkers and me, we walk fast, right? Tokyo. Come on, where did it come from? Do you think I was born as a baby walking fast? So if you're triggered by someone who walks slower, talk slower, dress a certain way, you can dump it out because that's not you. That's from somewhere else. In healthcare, in particular, in military, in education, in very hierarchical and very stable institutions, many times we don't slow down enough to check where that came from, right? And that's where it becomes very painful. So when you write about what you're feeling in a safe space and then question yourself by looking at it and going, this is a lot. And this is not me. This is definitely not me, right? This is, where did this come from? And then you ask yourself the right questions. That's why journal prompts are important. You can't just ask random questions. You ask questions that a therapist would ask in the counseling session as well. And if you're safe with yourself, you can write them out a bit, and then you feel a bit more safe to maybe talk to someone. Or
Have you seen the mindset shift when people reflect on their writings and they see it because they already put it all out there? Is it easy for them to think about all the things and have a mindset shift? So just like Dr. Michael Mantell said, don't disturb yourself less. Yeah. So by doing that, do you believe that helps?
Well, I can give you the one I like the best. There are 2 examples because I'd like to do journaling in a big group and with leaders. Money is, you can write down money is blank 10 times, right? And you tell them write whatever, and you're not gonna look just that. So money is, and then money is the root of all evil, right? Money is not enough. Money is something. This whole thing is about scarcity, right? It's not enough. So when people see that 10 times, sometimes they repeat, then they can see their version of money. Then they can have a conversation around that challenge, right? That handicap, that avoidance, right? So any incomplete sentence is usually something you can do very comfortably in a big group setting and let them decide for themselves what's happening, right? So that's one. But the other one is that whenever you're writing, you actually have themes, right? So if you can spot the themes, that's very helpful, right? So a lot of times you say at the end of the life, when you look back at your life, how does that look like? And then you start seeing some themes as well, right? So you're more grateful for something or not. But the one I like the best, and you're going to love this, is when I ask them to write a love letter.
Hey, Marilyn, hold that thought. My producer telling us that we need to take a station break. Okay. So I tell you what, I'm loving this. Dr. Michael, I know you're loving this as well. And I can see the numbers of viewers. This is absolutely fantastic. So we're going to take a station break. We're going to come back. We got a lot more Marian that we're going to talk with. So remember, it's your life, and pull it all in. We'll see you shortly after the break.
It's your life.
At Meridian Christian University, we believe.
The future is here.
It's your life. Hey, it's your life.
Welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's your life. And I was just taking in that whole segment, and everything that you said made so much sense. And I hope our viewers and our listeners are in tune like I am to this, because it makes sense, especially when you're dealing with people like all of us do, from the youth to our young adults to our seniors, and getting an understanding of peer support, just like what Dr. Mike Mantell was talking about, and how you was explaining it. It means so much. So I want to pick it back up on that one. I know you was on part 2 of a question that I had asked. I forgot what the question was, but can you go back to part 1 and then go back to 2?
The main point would be that, remember you asked whether writing helps and how. The last one of the story was the love letter. When I asked them to write a love letter to someone they love, like just telling them they love them, do you know how many people cannot write this love letter? And sorry to say, mostly they're men. And probably because it's Singapore, Asian men maybe, or conservative men, or men that don't talk about love. And there is a big thing about that. When you do not talk about love, which is one of the largest emotions, or don't feel comfortable, then it's very difficult also to translate this into self-love, right? So in journaling, literally that's where you can do self-love. You can do affirmations, you can do gratitudes, right? But the love for another person cannot even be expressed. It's so dangerous. So writing is different from having the love or thought in your head, because when you write it down, it becomes more real. It also gets it out in the open, where you can face it as if it's another person, right? And that's very different from self-thinking. You can also do this with another person. You can tell another person stuff and they can talk to you. But to be very fair, most people, when they come together, are agendaed to their own story. And they're just so busy telling each other their own story, or combining forces to a common story that's a peer supporter or a very good trained professional or a very good listener listens to your story. And that's why AI listens to you and currently has empathy levels better than most doctors who are rushing to get to the next patient or running through a procedure in their head.
Yeah, and research shows us that. We'll talk about AI in just a moment, but just to talk a little bit more about this journaling, one of the things that we teach in coaching or therapy is the importance of being aware of your own thoughts, to catch them so that you can challenge them and then change them. If you don't catch them, all bets are off. Journaling is a way to help people do that, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So how many people think that journaling takes too much time? I'm too busy. I don't have time for this. How do you help people understand they can take this a moment at a time and do it?
We're on a Christian show, right? So do you say that you don't have time for prayer? You don't have time
Right.
to, take some quiet time. So that's a real challenge. If you don't take time for quiet journaling, prayer, or walk in the park, I'm not sure where your brain and heart gets to unpack. That's all. Right? If you go for a run and you're unpacking in that run, great. Right? If you go for a swim but if you're not unpacking somewhere, journaling is enough. 5 minutes is enough. Right? We spend so much time consuming. That's a real danger in this generation. The consumption is too much more than your creation. And if you, who are built in the image of God, right, and the soul is there, and you are not creating out, and you're just consuming in, that's where we get confused. Because outside is not you. Inside is you. This is you, right? And if it's not coming out on a journal piece, then where is it coming out, right? As mentioned, prayer in a healthy community, right? With conversations with loved ones that are healthy, but that's the challenge. It's not coming out.
I tell people, Marion, you are thinking it anyway. That's taking time. So how much time do you really think you spend just quickly jotting down that quick thought? How much time? And people say, oh, it's like forever. No, let's time it. It's not even 45 seconds.
Yeah.
And people realize, wait, I've been believing something so incorrect. Now, is there a difference that you find between people just venting on paper and writing in a way that builds resilience?
Right. So I have to share with you my own journey, and then it answers this. So give me a bit. My mom was sick, right, for 3 months in the hospital. And when she finally came back home, she was homebound, and I took on the responsibility of caring for her until we found a support staff, right? And I was very uncomfortable sitting in the same room with her. I would spend myself in the living room doing my work. Of course, I had work to do, but I just couldn't be in the same room with her. This was when I started journaling and understood, because I was already in a program where I meditated and I worked with emotional awareness. Search Inside Yourself was the program. It was a Google mindfulness program for professionals, and I was a trainer. And I realized what was happening was she reminded me of my mortality, and she reminded me of my pain watching her, because she's my mom. With anybody else, I would be able to sit with them and not feel so upset. But it was a total overwhelm when I was with my mom in the same room, because I loved her so much. I was being upset. I was totally like that, right? Not just this, my heart was at unease, right? Just when I started writing, I realized that I had to move from the empathy I had for her into compassion. And if you do research on compassion in the brain, what it does is people look outside and see this person as a human, not as your mom or someone you know or your country, not so layered with identity, but another human. So if you saw another human on the street, you would feel something for them that is caring, but not overwhelmed, hopefully, right? And that is where, from this space of compassion therapy, compassion healthcare, compassionate workforce, we can care for each other because we are no longer overwhelmed by our own emotion. So the journaling is not all the time. The journaling is when you're overwhelmed with your emotion. And it'd be good if you start earlier as a child or earlier when you're not so overwhelmed, so that when you're overwhelmed, it can come in immediately as a practice.
And journaling doesn't necessarily have to be writing it down. With AI, which we'll get into, you can dictate it and save it on your phone.
Yes.
How are we bringing this to healthcare professionals who are burning out and talking about the difficulties they're having to continue their career? Are we bringing this to healthcare centers, hospitals, and so forth?
The healthcare profession is a very mixed beast, right? It's a huge ecosystem. Different hospitals have different practices, different medical schools. So the intent to always heal and help the healer is there. The manner in which to do it could be very varied. So in my country, the peer support from medical school and healthcare workers are there. They're trained, obviously. But the journaling and AI part, honestly, it's not integrated very clearly. I'm not sure who does it and who doesn't. I've looked at your system as well, and again, it's the same. Peer support and AI is not all integrated together, and journaling, right? Because to be very fair, it took a long time for me to integrate myself. It's a whole different hit, right? I'm a counselor. I'm very good at one-on-one. I'm a teacher. I'm very good at one in groups, right? But the AI part now that comes in is because this person cannot see me 24/7, and neither do I want to see him 24/7. So this integration needs us to go into AI and tech and sit there. You need to go. Yeah, really, Michael, you probably need to go in, because that doesn't think the same way. To answer you, probably no. We're not really integrating everything yet. We are probably in the way. The late James Doty, please look him up. He was doing it. Happy.ai is an avatar of James, and LLM is trained by James' compassionate therapy. So everything about James is in that avatar where it stands at the moment. But we could not finish doing everything that was wanted to be done, right? But that is a man embodied who made a technology that's as clearly clean and embodied and guided as it could be. Yeah.
We just have a couple of minutes, but I'm curious. Let's get into the AI. We hear so many times that AI is going to remove the human touch in mental health and physical health care. I think you and I both know that's not the case, but I'd like you to talk about that. What do you say to people who say we're going to take away the human touch if we rely on AI too much?
We've already taken away the human touch when you overwhelm the healthcare workers. No country is with enough nurses. There's no country in the world. All the nurses are being stolen literally from their own country because other countries need them, and they go. And that's not good for the nurses either. They're not in their home country where they have their family they love, right? So there's not enough healthcare workers. Sorry, everybody, wake up. Right? If you want good healthcare workers to work with you at the treatment part rather than the prevention part, you need to keep them in the system. And I am overwhelmed, burnt out. So many of my colleagues are. Yeah.
Wow.
you mentioned AI. I think that when Michelle getting ready to ask, she's going to add on to that because this is so important. Because as you mentioned, a lot of the human interaction is being taken away by AI, but you're still going to need some type of human interaction. And I tell you what, we're going to take a station break, but we're going to come back. We're going to pick it up. We got so much more that we want to talk about. If you want to be part of this great conversation, all you have to do is just go to the comments on the platform that you're watching us on. Ask any questions that you might have. I promise you, we'll get you an answer. It's your life. It ain't nothing but a party, y'all.
Cooley. Yeah. It's your life. Yeah.
There's
Ain't nothing but a party, y'all. Cooley Show. It's your life. Dr. James JC Cooley. The James Cooley Show. It's your life. That's right.
Really get a chance to know who you are. And once you know who you are, you truly know who you are, love who you are. Love who you are. You're a masterpiece. Love who you are. Love who you were born to be. Love me some me. That's what I'm talking about. When you leave high school, you gotta know today or tomorrow, hopefully today, what your plans are. Hopefully, there is no bad decision unless there is no plan. Create, collaborate, commit with confidence. Commit with what? Commit with what? And everything that you do.
Let's go. It's the James Cooley Show. It's your life. Dr. James JC Cooley. All right. It's your life. Dr. James JC Cooley. It's your life. That's right. Dr. James JC Cooley.
Welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's your life, and on Tuesdays, the link is what you think. And Dr. Mike, I did not forget that. The link is what you think. So this segment, a little bit, Dr. Michael Mantell is going to grab his book, and he's going to pick from random, and he's going to give us 5 pointers on what the link is what you think today. So
Yeah.
Are you ready, Dr. Mike?
I am ready as can be. I wrote the book, Don't Sweat the Small Stuff, which Marion was kind enough to post about way back. And don't sweat the small stuff. P.S. It's all small stuff. But today I'm going to talk to you about how to live better, disturb yourself less, and I'll give you 5 tips. And that these tips are all based on what I like to call regardless thinking. So this is on page 15 of the book, randomly chosen here. Your happiness has nothing to do with anyone or anything else. Number 1, remember that. Number 2, Your happiness is entirely an inside job. It's not what's going on outside. It's what you think about what's going on outside. Looking for someone to make you happy? Look in the mirror. That person is you. The assassins of your happiness are comparison, conditional thinking, seeking perfection, and demanding change. This is horrible. It must be different, and I can't stand it. Are killers. Number 5, you can live happily by choosing to house happy thoughts. After all, yep, the link is what you think. The link is what you think. And frankly, if you found even one new way to live better, disturb yourself less, then we hit the mark. Until the next link is what you think. And as we continue talking to Marion, stay curious, stay kind, and don't sweat the small stuff.
Dr. Michael, can you tell our viewers out there, where can they get the link is what you think?
The link is what you think. Thank you. The link is what you think is available on Amazon, where everything is available.
Uh-huh.
It's in bookstores, but get it on Amazon. You'll get it tomorrow morning, and it'll be delivered right to your front door.
That's what I'm talking about. I think Dr. Michelle have a couple of questions, and you up, Michelle?
I just have a question for you, Marion. So have you seen AI successfully pick up on emotionally charged conversations, which may indicate a pattern of distress?
Hey, you're so wise. What you just asked is actual use of the thing in a context. So I would not be able to see that. We do not have a current research project where I can watch that either. Mm-hmm. No, because that would be something I have to see, right? So to answer you better in a backward manner is there are many ways that we can train AI. And in Happy AI, we trained it with the LLM that's contained. So we know who came in, we know how to talk to them, we know what's going on as a trained professional behind the AI. If you leave it now to the current AIs and ChatGPT and Ash, which just came out, I cannot tell you in advance. I don't have enough research and data to see. I do know they're trained for a lot of empathy. So I and you can go back now and use one of these, and they'll be very much empathetic. But whether they can catch the right statements and analyze them, most humans can't. So this AI is way behind a human at this point in time in that way. And even trained professionals, I have had trained professionals that literally fall into bias and they go into their own rant, right? That's where I went with this. So to answer you, no, there's no AI currently that will be able to do that. And if they did, I want to know who created it and how they're going to use that. Because
I'm going to jump in here.
Tool, right?
I'm going to jump in here real quickly.
Go ahead.
Michelle, this will blow your mind. This is a true story. I was doing a session with someone online on Zoom, and the woman was cursing up a storm and all that stuff I won't repeat here. But she was really going at it. I can't stand this. All of a sudden, my Apple Watch, there it is, mm-hmm. My Apple Watch gave me a little jolt, and it said, "Is everything okay? Do I need to call 911?" Wow. I couldn't believe it. You know, if you bang down hard enough, the watch will say, "Is everything okay?" I was walking to the gym once and I fell and really came down hard and broke my patella, my kneecap. Mm-hmm. I was screaming in pain. The watch didn't even react. No. So it doesn't always work. But this woman cursing and screaming on Zoom, this heard. Go figure that out.
Wow.
Amazing. Hey, I want to just see if we have a couple minutes left. I want to just braid some of these things together for us. We've talked about trained peer support, reflective writing and journaling, and AI. If we could fully combine these three things, trained peer support, journaling, AI, into one mental health ecosystem, Marion, what do you think it would look like?
Thank you so much. That's what I was working on. I believe that the peer supporters should be all of us learning how to be better with our emotional health. Because if we learn how to spot it ourselves on ourselves, right, understand the degree of intensity, will it pass or is it going to stay and why, and then knowing where to get resources, we have helped ourselves and then helped our family. And again, the research has shown that peer supporters in the university setting end up helping people around them easily, and they feel better and the people around them see the change, minus them talking to anybody else that came to talk to them. If the AI was attached to a peer supporter or a therapist, as you and I have spoken, it's literally supporting in 1, data collection, 2, analyzing resources that might be needed, 3, right, helping the peer supporter become a better peer supporter. It's like someone who supervises or mentors me as a therapist, same thing, right? Someone who's checking in on me, and the peer supporter can share every detail because they're in a contained research setting, and the peer supporter is known and the AI is known. In an outside setting where the person writing in is not supposed to be known, privacy issues are high, right? Then you can't tell if the person comes in once, twice, is irregular. You shouldn't put it on your client base either, because then, you know, it might have some issues with privacy. A peer supporter is a research project. Using this first, then the journaling and everything else can come into play. For the rest of it, we can use smaller portions of AI on journaling itself and everything else. But this peer support with an AI in a healthcare setting, in any other setting, where it's, do you know that in the not Navy, all the merchant ships have challenges because people are in the ship and they don't share because it's such a hierarchical as well as unsafe. You might lose your job if you express your mental health issues. But if you're journaling with an AI and learning about self-care for yourself.
Wow. I tell you what, we're going to stick around the radio. We're going to end the radio portion, but we still got a few more minutes live on the air. I'll tell you what, the viewers out there, thank you. I'd like to thank Dr. Mike again, always bringing in absolutely fantastic. Marion, I'd like to thank you. Come on, this is great. Dr. Michelle Cooley, fantastic. But I tell you what, always dream big, think big, and be big at everything you do. We still got about 4 minutes left in the show in the radio portion, so we'll talk to you.
JC Cooley. Yeah.
Is he the only one that gets to dance? No.
No, we all get to dance. We got about 4 minutes, 3.5 minutes left. So I would love for you to answer that question that you was just responding to, but you know, the radio portion we had to end that.
Yeah, of course. So, I mean, main point is, I'm sorry, I had my teddy bears here, so I'm going to bring them in. So you see, nurse and doctor teddy bears. So literally in the past, when you were children, right, everybody took one of these and cried into one of them, right? Come on,
right.
Everyone had them. Where is this? And who is helping this one cry? Right? That's the problem. Where is this in the world now?
Beautiful.
That's the challenge, right? And if AI has to be that, because AI is 24/7 on, AI should be supported as well with a person or a whole system behind it. However, to be fair, I think you all know this. Who is watching the AI? And how well trained are they? Because technology people making the AI are not known to be the most emotionally eloquent.
Do any of you have Siri or Alexa at home?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yes. Now, tell me something. They're always listening. They respond. I was talking to my wife about going to Whole Foods the other day. Didn't write it down. Didn't enter it. Didn't type. We get in the car and on the screen it said Whole Foods 12 minutes. Like, how did that know? So Marian, if it can do that, how can it not pick up anger in the home or shouting or, hey, is everything okay? It's there. We need to figure out how to make that happen.
Then it's but the other way, right? You do not want it to know everything. You don't even let your wife know everything. You don't even know everything yourself. So blind spots. So the answer is very simple. You curate your AI experience, right?
Yes.
People can create the AI, but you curate, right? CURATE. But the main point is, how do you create? Again, you need to know what peer support is, what mental health is. You cannot do something for yourself if you don't know what it is. right? We need a guide, right? We need a guide. We need an understanding. But I really encourage a lot more people to go into the AI world properly and healthcare professionals so that we can help shape that world. Because currently that world is running off without most of us in it.
Hey, Dr. Mike, I want to say this. We got about 2 minutes left, or a minute and a half. I certainly want her back on the show again.
I do too.
If
I do too.
If for
At
time
5 o'clock in the morning, she's kind of be ready to go. And look how lovely she looks at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. So, Marion, if your schedule permits, in a couple of months, we would love to have you back on the show. You are so wise and so passionate about what you do, and it's contagious. Yeah, so
I only coming back for the dancing. Because I don't have anywhere that dances at 5 in the morning.
And we'll be dancing a whole lot more next time you come back. But I want to thank you for taking the time to come on the show and share your wisdom. A lot more than I expected. I'm loving it. Dr. Michael Mantell, come on. I love you, brother. You already know that.
You know, the love is and admiration is mutual.
Yes. And Michelle, I think she's done long gone.
She's the brains of the show. Forget us. She's the real brains.
Yeah, so, and most importantly, our viewers out there, I want you to always, always, always dream big, think big, and be big at everything you do. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place. It's your life, and we'll see you then.
Thank you all. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.